Have you read the words on a television or a computer screen? Of course you have. That's a silly question, but I mean, who hasn't? With the revolution in technology, we can read almost anything and everything on the internet. Can you imagine a time when all books will be on computers and there will be no books printed on paper? Would you like such books better? Think about it. And that's what we are going to read about in our session today. The fun they had is the story. Let's read the story in detail and find out what this is all about. The Fun They Had by Isaac Asimov. Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17th May 2157, she wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book." It was a very old book. Margie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on paper. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen, you know? And then when they turned back to the page before, it had the same words on it that it had when they had read it the first time. "Gee," Tommy said, "what a waste. When you're through with the book, you just throw it away, I guess? Our television screen must have had 1,000,000 books on it, and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away." "Same with mine," said Margie. She was 11 and hadn't seen as many telebooks as Tommy had. He was 13. She said, "Where did you find it?" "In my house," he pointed without looking because he was busy reading. "In the attic." "What's it about? School?" Margie was scornful. "School? What's there to write about school? I hate school." Margie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. So in this part of the story, we see Margie, an 11-year-old girl, having written something in her diary on the page headed 17th May 2157. She wrote that Tommy found a real book that day. This book was very old. And once Margie's grandfather had said to her that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him about a time when all stories were printed on paper. They turned the pages of the book. They were wrinkled and yellow, and they found that strange as the words stood still on the page. They did not move on the screen as they do now. Now, Tommy was a 13-year-old boy, and he called a book a waste, as he thought that after reading a book, people would probably have nothing to do with it, so just throw it out. He said that their television screens were big enough to hold many books. Margie also agreed with him, although she had not seen many telebooks herself. Then Margie asked Tommy where he had found the book. He said he found it in his house in the attic. Also, it was about school. Margie hated school, but now she hated it even more than before because her mechanical teacher had been giving her tests in geography repeatedly and her performance was worse than ever. But will the mechanical teachers be that bad? We're going to find that out soon. But before that, let's look at some significant words. The first word we have in this part of the story is crinkly, which refers to something that is full of creases and wrinkles. This word refers to the old book that Tommy found in his house. The next word that we have is attic, which refers to a space or room inside or partly inside the roof of a building. This is a place where Tommy found the old book. But wait. Tutormate. For more amazing video lectures, download the free app on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.